There's one thing almost everyone reaches for when someone near them shows signs of a stroke. It's the same thing doctors specifically tell you never to do. You've called for help. The ambulance is on its way. And now comes the hardest part, the waiting. Minutes that feel like hours, standing next to someone you love, wanting desperately to do something. Most people in that moment reach for instinct instead of information. And one of the most common instincts is exactly the wrong one. This video is about what to actually do, and just as importantly, what not to do in those first few minutes. If someone near you is having a heart attack, you may have heard the advice, give them an aspirin. So when stroke symptoms appear, many people's instinct is the same. Reach for the medicine cabinet, try to help. Here is the one thing you need to unlearn. Do not give aspirin during a suspected stroke. This isn't a minor detail, it's the opposite advice from what most people already know, and that's exactly why it matters. There are two kinds of stroke. One is caused by a blood clot blocking a vessel. The other is caused by a blood vessel bleeding. Aspirin thins the blood, which can help in the first case, and make the second case significantly worse. The problem is, there's no way to tell which kind of stroke someone is having just by looking at them. That can only be determined with a brain scan at the hospital. So the safest rule is simple. No aspirin, no medication of any kind, until a doctor has seen a scan. While a few other instincts are also worth setting aside, don't give the person food or drink, even water. Stroke can affect the muscles used for swallowing, and something as small as a sip of water can end up in the lungs instead of the stomach. Don't tell them to lie down and sleep it off. This isn't something rest fixes, and time is the one resource you can't get back once it's gone. And don't leave them to drive themselves, or decide to drive them yourself instead of calling an ambulance. Paramedics can start assessing the situation the moment they arrive, and they can alert the hospital before you're even in the building. Now here's what actually helps. First, call emergency services if you haven't already. Say clearly that you suspect a stroke. That word alone changes how quickly help is dispatched. Note the time. The exact moment symptoms started, or the last time the person was known to be normal. This detail shapes what treatments are possible once they reach the hospital. So if you can, say it out loud, write it down, or set it as a note on your phone right away. Keep the person safe and still. If they're sitting or lying down, help them stay that way. If they're standing, help them to the ground gently to avoid a fall. Loosen anything tight around their neck or chest, a collar, a scarf, a tie to help them breathe more easily. Stay with them and stay calm. Your voice is often the steadiest thing in the room. Speak simply. Reassure them you're there, help is coming, and they're not alone. If they lose consciousness but are still breathing, gently turn them onto their side. This is called the recovery position, and it helps keep their airway clear. If they stop breathing, or you can't find a pulse, begin CPR if you know how, and stay on the phone with emergency services. They can walk you through it in real time. When you're on the phone, a few details help enormously. Say you suspect a stroke. Describe what you're seeing: face drooping, arm weakness, slurred speech, sudden dizziness, whatever applies. Give the exact time symptoms started, if you know it, and mention anything relevant, like blood thinners the person may already be taking, or known conditions like high blood pressure or a heart problem. You don't need to have all the answers. The dispatcher is trained to guide you through the rest. It's worth saying plainly, staying calm in this moment is hard, but the person you're helping can often sense panic, even when they can't fully express themselves. A steady voice and a clear set of actions do more good than urgency alone. You don't have to feel calm to act calm. You just need to know what comes next, which is exactly why we walked through it, step by step, instead of leaving you with a vague, stay calm and call for help. If you remember one thing from this video, let it be this: no aspirin, no food or water, no waiting to see if it passes. Call for help, note the time, keep them safe, keep them still, and keep your voice steady until help arrives. You won't have time to search this up in the moment it actually happens. That's why it's worth knowing now, before you ever need it. If this helped, save it. This is exactly the kind of video worth having watched once, long before the day you might need it. This video is for education, not diagnosis. If you or someone near you is showing signs of a stroke, call emergency services immediately. I'll see you in the next one.